The New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation promotes, preserves, and perpetuates music, culture, and heritage through programs, cultural, educational, and economic activities year-round. Learn more at jazzandheritage.org. This program is brought to you in part by the Eugenie and Joseph Jones Family Foundation, a local foundation proud to support education, the arts, and culture in the greater New Orleans area. The Chicory House Bistro at the Rink offers breakfast and lunch daily. And now a new bar upstairs inside the Garden District Bookshop, 2727 Britannia Street at Washington Avenue. Learn more at therinknola.com. Steppin Out is made possible in part by Susie and Pierre G. Villery.
Whether it's the latest museum exhibit, the newest restaurant, or the current hot play,
we appreciate the weekly updates on the arts, music, and entertainment.
let's step out.
I'm Peggy Scott Laborde, and welcome to Steppin Out, or Dancing Out, with updates from the local restaurant, arts, and entertainment scenes. Joining me, what a show, Poppy Tooker, host of Louisiana Eats on WWNO Radio. Woo!
I'm very scary today.
Making their Steppin Out debut, Brandon V. Lewis, director of the Helis Foundation John Scott Center. Welcome.
Thank you.
Hey. Alan Smason, editor of the Crescent City Jewish News and Theater Criticism.com. Hello. And Divine Prince Ty, Emmecca, a Voodoo Priest, who will tell us about the Fet Gede, the Day of the Dead ceremony at the New Orleans Healing Center coming up. Great to see you, sir.
Thank
Hello.
you for having me.
And Poppy, a new restaurant to really get excited about, huh?
A new restaurant to specifically talk about on Halloween. And this is, a lot of people know Christina Quackenbush. We
Yes.
all remember Milkfish, her restaurant, and then she kept that pop-up alive. Well, Christina has opened up with her family on Bourbon Street, Tatlo Divine Cuisine and Absinthe Bar. Now, this is in the back space of the old Absinthe House, so the entrance is on Bienville. Christina says it's a place for the hex curious. And you see, Christina is a green witch, which means she uses food and herbs and things like that as her medium. And you can start off, you're right there at the Absinthe House, and they have green, white, and red absinthe on offer, locally produced, coming from all over the world. And then, of course, they have other very inventive cocktails like the Spellbreaker, the Divine Connection, the Blood Moon Ritual. Now, there's only 32 seats inside of Tatlo, so reservations are very important. But let me tell you what the experience there is like. So the server starts off your experience because they inquire as to your personal manifestations, wishes, desires, whatever you're really looking for that night. And then they light an appropriately colored candle, like maybe a red candle if you're looking for romance. And then that colored candle is going to burn throughout your whole meal. And there's a tarot reader always in the corner ready to read the cards for you. And aside from all the delicious drinking, she offers what she calls bewitched bites that are offering real results. For instance, Synergy is a chicken adobe arancini made with sticky purple rice. It promises fertility, abundance, and growth. Triketra. Now, 3 is a magic number to Christina, and that's why it's found everywhere in the dining room. It's even tattooed on the back of her neck. And the Triketra offers spiritual enlightenment, and that comes through pork ribs, lemongrass barbecue, red cabbage, candied mango, mint, and cilantro. But the best, I think, are the protection noodles, which repels evil spirits. And it's pancit noodles with crab butter, mushroom broth, fresh garlic, and they set an edible burning tallow candle at the center of the noodles that burns as you eat. What a fabulous experience. How perfect for Halloween and all those other magical times. Now, tomorrow night's going to be pretty magical, and I hope everyone will come out and join me and my friend Orenda Fink. Orenda is half of the pop duo As Your Ray. We're going to be together tomorrow night at 6 o'clock at Octavia Books for a conversation about her book, The Witch's Daughter. And this takes a deep dive into mothers with borderline personality disorder and all that can bring. And you see, Christina's mother believed she was a witch and could cause people to get sick, have strokes, and have other bad things happen. So really, we're centering on recovery, hope, and clarity on people in that life situations, having a malevolent witch of a mother in your
And
life.
that's Octavia.
Octavia Books. And then, last of all, coming up, the next holiday, Thanksgiving. Parkway Poor Boys, legendary Thanksgiving, with all the trimmings on a poor boy sandwich, sponsored this year by Leidenheimer's Crystal Hot Sauce and Blue Plate Mayo. Offered every Wednesday in November, 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. They're teaming up, as always, big donations to the Al Copeland Foundation. You can go online to the Al Copeland Foundation website. For $100, you can skip the line.
Okay, thank you so much, Poppy. And Brandon, what a wonderful space. The Louisiana Endowment for the Humanities building on Lafayette. That first space is truly hallowed space, isn't it? Right there.
It is 6,000 square feet. The John Scott Center is a branch of Louisiana Endowment for Humanities. About 15 years ago, the former director started collecting Scott's work. And as we all know, John Scott is a native son. Taught at Xavier University for 40 years, humanist, MacArthur genius, artist, and educator. And so LEH wanted to commit to celebrating one artist from Louisiana, and they chose John Scott.
Well,
We're so
such
glad
a good job. And we have some images of his work that you've incorporated into that space at O'Keeffe and Lafayette, I understand.
Yes. So some of the pieces are owned by LEH. Others are on loan from Xavier University and the Scott family. So it is called Dancing at the Crossroads. That's the exhibition, and it truly embodies the versatility of Scott as an artist, not just as a printmaker, but a sculptor, a glass blower, a painter, and so many themes to unpack in the center.
And it's not just for meetings, it's all kinds of activities that take place there. Huh?
All kinds of programming. So we have Pass It On, which is spoken word, which is led by Scott's son. We have film screenings that we do. So you can check all of that out on our website. We have just a litany of programs going on that from ages 1 to 100.
And there's a book. We just wanted
There
to
is a
mention
book.
the book.
There is a
Yeah.
book. So we recently released Passing It On, The Art of John Scott, which was written
Which
by...
is his mantra, really,
Yeah,
wasn't
it is his mantra. Written by Miss Anna Rita Scott, his widow, and Miss Freddie Evans. And this book celebrates the work of Scott. And what is Passing It On? Passing It On is when I do a good deed. For you, you pass it on to Poppy. Poppy passes it on to the next person, and so forth. And we continue the good work in the community that is the main artery of New Orleans.
Love it. And you are also, and I want you to come back another time, we can talk about you in your own right, or you're a visual artist, and you were represented by Ferrara Showman Gallery, and congratulations on that.
Thank you very much.
Very, very good. Thank you. I'm glad you're here.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for having me.
Oh, of course. And Divine Prince Ty,
Yes.
you're going to be pretty busy in the
Yes,
next
ma'am.
day or so, huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell us about the Fet Gede.
We will be celebrating the 44th annual Fet Gede ceremony at the New Orleans Healing Center on St. Claude. I will be in attendance. I'll be setting up an altar. There'll be various artists there. There'll be Haitian food there. We're going to have a happy hour first from 5 to 7 with Bourbon Court and Muscal. And then we'll have an art market from 5 to 10. And at 10, we're going to walk a block down to our newest art installation right there at I believe it's Paris and St. Claude, and we're going to pour libations to all of our deceased dead and ancestors.
And it starts at the Healing Center on St. Claude.
Yes, ma'am.
Great.
Yeah, it'll be a very festive, celebratory event. It's always fun and laughing and joyful. It's not a morbid dead ceremony. It mimics the Day of the Dead in Mexico quite similarly in terms of our ability to celebrate and have fun and feast with those who've gone before and to remember them.
And this is, of course, Friday, November 1st, tomorrow. And
5
you
o'clock.
take part in this, don't you?
Yes, ma'am, I do. I am the king of New Orleans voodoo, and as I stated, I'll be setting up my own shrine there to the dead, but there will also be other artists who'll be setting up various types of shrinery and arts and altars for the dead as well.
Sure. And we our compliments to Sally Ann Glassman, whose
yes,
Healing
Mambo
Center
Sally
is
Ann.
such an important space for so many reasons. So many good things and good works come out of there too.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Well, congratulations on this.
Thank you for
Appreciate
having
it. It's
me.
very nice to meet you.
Thank
for the
you.
First time, you bet. And moving over to Alan.
Well, the World Series may be over for this year, but I hope that there's not many of you out there who are Dodgers and would miss out on one of the best theater shows of the year. I'm talking about Jekyll and Hyde, directed by Ken Good Jr., with wonderful music by Frank Wildhorn, and the book by Leslie Brickus, as lyrics as well, all fantastically rendered by Maestro Dennis Asaf and the JPA Orchestra. Here we see Tyler Walls, who hails from Kansas City and whose belting and barrel chest perfectly captures Mr. Hyde and Dr. Henry Jekyll, his alter ego. Down on her luck, as we see here, Stephanie Aubrey as Lucy Harris, a woman who's abused by so many men and longs to break free and start a new life, the same as the title of one of her numbers in Act 2. When she first meets Dr. Jekyll, she has no idea of the evil lurking within him. Jekyll sings an impressive song. This is the moment just when he's about to experiment on himself with this formula. One of the best songs, though, Bring on the Men, is by Lucy with other ladies in the ensemble who perform at a seedy London nightclub. Jekyll's fiancée, Emma, played by Monique Aubrey Knopfler, and of course they are sisters-in-law, has no idea what's troubling her love, and she and Lucy share a remarkable duet rowing over him basically in Act 2's In His Eyes. They have fantastic costumes by Antoinette de Alteris and remarkable voices throughout the production. You will not want to miss Jekyll and Hyde ending its 2-week run this weekend at the JPAC. Now, here's a photo I snapped of the leads as well as the director, Ken Good Jr. There's Monique Knopfler, Tyler Walls, and Stephanie Aubrey. So there you have them. Meanwhile, at the New Orleans African American Museum, the NOLA Project's continuing to present Passover, a modern take on Waiting for Godot. This is by Antoinette Nwandu. Martin Batts Bradford plays Moses, who's the alpha between the two black men unable to break free from an urban environment. He and D.C. Paul, as Kitch, attempt to make an exodus or pass over from their block and reach the land of milk and honey. But in this hellish environment, they're kept down by a lack of opportunity and a reliance on drugs as recreation, if you will, due to what we view today as systemic racism. And Keith Clavery alternately plays a male Karen or a policeman referred to as Ossifer, whose job it is to intimidate them and give them fear. Bradford's performance is really outstanding as Moses. He has real imagination and daring, wants to make a move. Paul's performance is much more textured as he vacillates from being brave to cowering before the police. This work is really not intended for young children, of those who not be accustomed to the gritty language of the street. The most often uttered word is a racial epithet used as a term of endearment between the two, but with its rap music background and daring direction by Tanaj Wallace, this is a play for our time and runs for 2 more weekends. Meanwhile, across town at Rivertown Theaters is The Toxic Avenger. It's a 2008 spoof of a Broadway musical. The musical is a black comedy with Keith J. Warren starring as Melvin Ferd III. Yes, that's right, Ferd the nerd. He runs afoul of the evil and corrupt authorities in the city, not located far away from New York. And he's transformed into the Toxic Avenger and goes on a rampage to make the authorities pay. Catherine Bancroft is very funny as Sarah. She's a woman who's looking for a virile hero like the Toxic Avenger. Then there's the corrupt Mayor Babs Belgoody. She's played by Lori Reinagel, who, like Adam Bro and Kirkland Green right there, play multiple roles. Will Sarah and the Toxic Avenger find happiness and rid their city of the mayor and her cronies? Well, you'll just have to go to Rivertown to find out. Directed by Gary Rucker, this show features a live band. It plays music and lyrics by David Bryan, with Joe DiPietro providing the book and additional lyrics. Kudos to the costumer and the makeup artist, and to Rucker and Michael Brown for the set. You will be amazed at some of the switch changes that they have in the costumes. So go check that out, The Toxic Avenger, running now through November the 10th. Now, Ais St. John, I love her, takes the wraps off her Josephine Baker show. She developed the Denise Altabello and Harry Marone, of course, on the piano. There you can see she and Harry. They'll be performing 2 shows in 2 days coming up on Friday, November the 15th in Algiers at the Algiers Music Arts Studio. You can get tickets from their website. And then on Saturday, the next day, November the 16th, they're going to travel to Bay St. Louis to the 100 Men's Club to mount the show there. You can get tickets at 100menhall.com. For those who want to hear more about this show and learn a little bit about Josephine Baker and her work as a resistance fighter during World War II, I suggest you check out my NOLA Theater Talk Show. That's going to be this Monday, November the 4th at 8 p.m. And you can see it on the NOLA Theater Folk Facebook group, the theatercriticism.com Facebook page, and my own YouTube channel.
All right, thank you, Alan. So much love, Anais. A
She's great.
teacher, a performer, she wears many hats.
And partly an opera singer, too. She
Oh
was
my goodness.
trained for opera.
Okay. Wonderful lady. John Autin has been producing albums featuring New Orleans area performers for 40 years. Now, this longtime pianist singer visited our studio earlier today to share some Rabadash record label memories. Not only are you a very active pianist, but you also own a studio, and this is your 40th year in your record label, Rabadash. Rabadash was named after a cat. I know there's more to the story. Where did that name come from?
Well, my original partner in the business, her name was Nora Wickstead. She was my girlfriend at the time, and her cat was named Rabadash. I didn't know it at the time, but it was from a Tales of Narnia.
Yeah, C.S. Lewis fantasy novel.
Lewis.
Love that. Well, tell us about what you're up to today, but let's also mention a little bit of the past between Nora Wickstead and so many other fine performers in CDs, and now you're doing more singles, because the business has changed, hasn't it?
Oh, yes. It was slowly changing up until the pandemic, and then when the pandemic happened, just like a lot of things in oral, it just totally changed. Physical CDs are a thing of the past now. So, and everything is streaming. So we're doing singles now with new artists. We have some baby artists, I call them, that we're starting. I have one young lady named Gia, another young lady named Lane Blue, and then we are also my big artist, I guess I would say now, is Sarah B., who she had 3 major label contracts in the past and was on The Voice, and she's on Rabadash.
Well, very good. And you can also be heard on a regular basis locally. What, Chop House?
Oh, myself? Yes. Yes, I'm one of our artists.
Fleming,
too.
so you're one of the artists.
Yes,
you have a CD and your own album, too.
Yes. I have 2 albums out, yes.
Yeah. Well, congratulations, though. And you've got the studio, so you rent the studio out as well as do your
Yes,
own.
it is a commercial studio, and we're very blessed to
Mandeville?
get it. It's a world-class studio right there in Mandeville, Louisiana, believe it or not, that was designed by John Stark, who also designed the Lincoln Center.
Oh, my goodness. Well, tell us what you're going to play for us tonight.
Well, right now I'm going to play a song called Piano Town, and I hope this song gets to be the city theme song, because I think New Orleans is definitely a piano town.
And this is from your latest CD.
Yes,
All
title
right.
cut.
Great. Take it away.
Hey, little girl, you look so lonely, sitting by yourself, like nobody else has ever felt so low. Hey, now, girl, you're not the only one. I've been there too. I got just a place for you and I to go. So come on, girl, to Piano Town, where melody turns around a frown. Magic fingers dancing perfect time. Heart and soul is a state of mind. So come on, girl, put on your dancing shoes. Let the 88s play away on blues. Me and you go down to Piano Town. You can take a train or fly a plane, go anywhere you wish. There ain't no place like this, I guarantee. You don't have to pay or know how to play, just sit and sing along. with Dr. John, Professor Longhair, and me. So come on, girl, to Piano Town, where melody turns around a frown. Magic fingers dancing perfect time. Heart and soul is a state of mind. So come on, girl, put on your dancing shoes. Let the 88s play away your blues. Me and you go down to Piano Town. Not a place you can drive to, or an address on a street. It's any song you come alive to, coming from those ivory keys. Not a place you can drive to, or an address on a street. It's any song you come alive to, coming from those ivory keys. Oh, come on, girl, to Piano Town, where melody turns around a frown. Magic fingers dancing perfect time. Heart and soul is a state of mind. So come on, girl, put on your dancing shoes. Let the 88s play away your blues. Me and you go down to Piano Town. Yeah, me and you go down to Piano Town. Yeah, me and you go down to Piano Town.
You can go to rabadashrecords.com for more information, or johnautin.com. Time for picks. Puppy.
My favorite Halloween episode, Louisiana Eats. We've been doing it for 15 years. You just go to poppytooker.com and we've got a special pop-up where tonight, if you really want to scare, go there and all 15 years of episodes will pop up and I can scare the devil out of you.
Brandon, LEH, once again, that website.
LEH.org. You can find us at 938 Lafayette Street in the heart of the CBD.
All right, great. And once again, Ferrara Showman Gallery for your artwork.
Ferrara Showman Gallery.
Yeah,
Hop in
go
and
to
see
their
my latest
website
collection.
too. Very good. Ty, Divine Prince Ty.
You can find me at www.houseofthedivineprince.com, and you can get more information about Fet Gede at NewOrleansHealingCenter.org.
Thank you, sir. And
So two upcoming events, Peg, both featuring the Louisiana Philharmonic Orchestra. First of all, next weekend, Alfred Walker returns to New Orleans to perform with Rayanne Bryce Davis in Samson and Delilah, a concert performance at the Mahalia Jackson Theater. And, of course, that's with the LPO behind that. And first of all, don't forget about the Nuts and Bolts lecture 1 hour before the show. And then, of course, the following week on November the 15th, artistic director and maestro Matthew Kramer will be conducting Holst the Planets at the Orpheum Theater. I will see you at the theater.
all right, now my picks, and we've got New Orleans-born writer Paul Siefkin, who has written a book for older children called Vernon Poche and the Ghosts of New Orleans. He'll be signing from 1 to 3 on Friday at Octavia Books, and the Festival of the Lake takes place Friday through Sunday in Old Mandeville, and that's festivaloftheLake.com for a full music schedule. The Opera Festa Singers are doing 2 tributes to Puccini. One Friday evening at 7:30 at St. Dominic's Church in Lakeview, and then Sunday at 3 p.m. at St. George's Episcopal Church, 4600 St. Charles. Kevin Rochelle and Robert Wagner are both featured vocalists, very much involved with the group. My husband Errol and I, along with Dominic Massa, will be appearing at the Louisiana Book Festival in Baton Rouge on Saturday. LouisianaBookFest.org for a full schedule. We at WYES were very sad to hear of the passing of WWL-TV's Eric Paulson. Years ago, Eric gave us permission to expand his rare interview with playwright Tennessee Williams into a documentary. A conversation with Tennessee Williams. It will be showing that program, which Eric narrated in honor of Eric, this Saturday afternoon at 5:30. Really, really going to be missed. What a lovely, fun guy, and very generous, a generosity of spirit.
So
Shared his time with so many local nonprofits. Very, very kind. The beloved Kingsman Band is reuniting for a concert on Sunday from 2 to 5 p.m. Harvey DeJesus will be singing with them. $20 at the door, and part of that, I think, is for a fundraiser. And before we leave you, though, Alan, I'm so jealous. Sometime in the near future, you're going back to NYC.
Yes.
What you going to see?
Broadway Beck is, Sutton Foster's still doing Once Upon a Mattress, which I'm intending to see. I'm going to be checking out Sunset Boulevard with Nicole Scherzinger, which has been getting great reviews. Also, a little bit of cabaret at the Kit Kat Club.
Ooh.
And, of course, the one that most New Orleanians are worried about, if you will, how it's going to do on Broadway is A Wonderful World, the Louis Armstrong musical with James Monroe Iglehart. And then finally, New Orleans' own Michael Cerveris. I'm going to see him and Tammy Faye, which I'm looking forward to seeing as well. And I can't wait. It's going to be a great trip.
Well, you know, I think many of us are familiar with the musical Cabaret, okay, because of the movie with Liza Minnelli. But this time around, that you actually walk in, you go earlier before the performance.
It's an immersive experience. Yes, you actually go into the Kit Kat Club.
You go into the Kit Kat Club, which I think is very
It's the way that they probably would have liked to have done it back in 1966 when they first staged Cabaret. They had to do it, lighten it, because the whole idea of the Nazis, et cetera, they didn't think would be ideal for a musical. You can imagine.
Thank you. Thank you all so very much. Happy Halloween. And good night.
Programming on WYES is made possible in part by Susie and Pierre G. Villery.
From Masterpiece to Nova, Antiques Roadshow to Agatha Christie.
And of course, Steppin Out and Informed Sources.
We are pleased to support public television.
It's been our passion.
For a lifetime.
The New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation promotes, preserves, and perpetuates music, culture, and heritage through programs, cultural, educational, and economic activities year-round. Learn more at jazzandheritage.org. This program is brought to you in part by the Eugenie and Joseph Jones Family Foundation, a local foundation proud to support education, the arts, and culture in the greater New Orleans area. The Chicory House Bistro at the Rink offers breakfast and lunch daily. And now a new bar upstairs inside the Garden District Bookshop, 2727 Britannia Street at Washington Avenue. Learn more at therinknola.com.